Hey everyone, good to see you here. Today we are going to talk about Bibles. Not like different types. Well, I guess yeah, we're going to talk about different types of Bibles. Um, it's very important that as a Christian, as an everyday Christian, you get some exposure to the Bible, that you get exposure to God's Word and just understand His writing and His stories, and the history that has happened. So, I wanted to talk about a couple of different ways to get that Bible fill that people need every day, and a couple of different methods to try and get that every day. So, we're going to talk about a couple of things. The first is the hardcover Bible. So, one of the most reliable, if not the most reliable, form of Bible is the book. So almost everyone should have one of these. I'm a firm believer that unless you live in a world where you've never read a paperback book, then I think you should have a paper version of a Bible. It's great for writing notes in. It's great for bringing to a study so that you don't have to sit on a phone or a laptop or an iPad to be able to read the Bible. This specific version is a study Bible, so there's a lot of sections in it that help me find words to set up for sermons or find words to set up so I can find verses that are specific to that topic. So I think that a paper Bible is a really great thing to have, even if you're going to use some of the things that I will mention later on. So if you do not have a paperback Bible yet, go to your local neighborhood bookstore, Books A Million, Borders, whatever you happen to have. I don't even know if Borders is still in business. Go to a bookstore. Sometimes libraries will have them, and you can rent a book for a little while if you want to try out a book. It'll also help you look at other versions of Bibles, and so you can decide on which one is right for you for reading, and then you can buy one specifically in that version. Which leads to another thing. Let's talk about versions real quick. So versions of Bibles, there are so many of them. I think as of right now, there are probably at least 1,000 different English translations of the Bible because they're translated differently from different languages into different syntax, different words. It's just the way the message is communicated. So this right here, which is my handy dandy paper Bible, is the New International Version. It's the NIV, which is almost commonly considered at this point to be one of the most well-known and used Bible translations. It's based on being clear and concise for everyone of almost every language to understand if they speak English. And it's supposed to be basically message for message from the old Bible, or from the old translations of Bibles to the Common Bible. So I think the NIV is a really great starting point. I like to fact check with the King James Version, which is the KJV. But some people think that's too archaic. But I am also a Shakespeare reader, so it works out well for me. So find a version that works for you. You can test out a lot of different versions through libraries, through a lot of bookstores will let you look at Bibles. Find a section that you like if you like the third chapter of Mark. Read the third chapter of Mark in a couple of different versions, and what resonates the most with you, that's really the version that you should probably get. So, now that we've talked about versions, I want to talk about a couple of different ways to read the Bible. So, you have the paperback version. Cool, we've talked about it. What else do you have? You have this really awesome application on both Android and Apple phones that is called YouVersion. And this is probably one of my favorite apps in the world because it's amazing. It has over 130 something versions of the Bible right there in English. All of them. You can download all of them. You can use all of them. It's really great. You can get a verse of the day, which I like all the time. And you can set up Bible plans to read through, and we will definitely talk about those another day. I'm very excited to talk about those. They're one of my favorite things. I plan on making my own very soon. I love Bible plans. But I would definitely recommend it. It is either an application on your phone, which you get, it's just called YouVersion, Y-O-U version. but it's also on youversion.com. Again, youversion.com. You can use that to study the Bible and get a verse of the day and some Bible plans, which is really, really great. Now, another way you could get the Bible is through audio. So it's really a niche sort of thing, but I know a lot of people that really like audiobooks, that find that they comprehend books the most when they're listening to them. So if that's the kind of thing that you are, you can get an audio Bible. There's a lot you can download. You can download a lot off Amazon. They'll have audio Bibles, but you can also get them in old DVD players and VHS and cassettes if that's the kind of thing you're into. I still know people that have Sony Walkmans, so cassettes can't be that way, that much out of style. So I think it's really important that whatever way works the best for you, you get. Personally, for me, I really like the digital YouVersion Bible. I use my paperback Bible for study groups and things in person that I don't want to be on my phone for. But there's a lot of organization you can do with a digital Bible that I think is really important. But I just think that the most important thing is you find something that works for you. God's Word is supposed to be really accessible to us, and in most cases it is. I think that we try to steer people, towards the goodness of God's Word. We try to show them the really important sections, and you can find that in any sort of Bible that you look at. You'll find that in a paper book. You'll find that in a digital Bible. You'll find that really in anything that you look for. But I think that if you were looking for a starting Bible, I think you should try it online first. Because if you have a cell phone, the application is free. Try it. Look for a version that you like. Like I said, grab a section of a book. Read... Oh gosh, what's a really great verse to read? Oh hey, you know what? Read Genesis 1. Read the entire chapter of Genesis 1 in 4 different versions. Try it in the New International Version. Try it in the King James Version. Try it in the American Standard Version, and try it in the Message, which is a paraphrase. And we'll talk about paraphrases at another day too, because I think paraphrases are very good at capturing messages of the Bible in the stories themselves, while changing the words and sometimes being more artistic and more poetic, but also sometimes easier to understand. So, just to wrap this up, I want to talk about how important it is to find one. A lot of people try to go early on in their Christian life without a Bible, and I think that the most important thing to get early on in your Christian life is a Bible. People have been asking me, how do I start? Where do I start? Well, pick this book up. Grab this book. Get it from your local library. Read Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Those are your 4 main testimonies of the works of Jesus. And if that's where you're looking to start, then that's a great place to start. And I will recommend that. I will most definitely have an article out about Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, probably very soon. And we'll talk about the importance of the first 4 books of the New Testament. So go out, get a Bible, start reading. We'll talk about some daily reading very soon. We're going to talk about daily prayer, daily reading. I think it's very important that you go out and grab a Bible. Find one that works for you. There are so many out there. There is one that's going to work really, really great for you. And don't let people tell you what it is. You have to go out and find it. So go out, grab a Bible, start learning some God's Word. Wow. Start learning some of God's words. Thanks, guys. I love you all.